In the underworld of street politics and hip-hop's deadliest feuds, few names strike as much controversy as Orlando Anderson. Known in Compton as Baby Lane, Anderson lived a life at the crossroads of gangs, music, and violence. His name became forever linked to the tragic murder of Tupac Shakur. But Orlando's story started long before that night in Las Vegas. Orlando Teve Anderson was born in Compton, California in 1974. Raised in an environment where gang life was not just a choice, but often a necessity, he grew up in the heart of South Central, during a time when the Crips and Bloods dominated the streets. He gravitated toward the Southside Compton Crips, a notorious set known for its rivalries and violent reputation. On the streets, Orlando earned the nickname Baby Lane, a moniker that carried both respect and fear. Even as a teenager, he had already gained recognition for his willingness to fight and put in work for his set. By the early 1990s, Anderson had established himself as a young but feared soldier. He wasn't a leader, but he had influence, known for robberies, beatdowns, and being relentless when it came to gang wars. Compton during this era was a war zone, with drug money and gang influence shaping young men like Anderson. The Southside Crips had strong ties and rivalries that would soon put Orlando at the center of one of hip-hop's greatest tragedies.
Anderson in civil court. They claim there is evidence he was in the white Cadillac that night in Las Vegas, that he got out and fired the shots.
From 1995 to date, have you ever ridden in a white Cadillac?
No.
Do you know anyone who owns a white Cadillac?
No.
Anderson, an alleged Los Angeles gang member, has vigorously denied any involvement in the murder and in depositions claimed he was not at the scene.
On September 7th, 1996, fate brought Orlando Anderson into the global spotlight. That night in Las Vegas, after the Mike Tyson-Bruce Seldon fight at the MGM Grand, Anderson crossed paths with Tupac Shakur, Suge Knight, and the death row entourage. Earlier that year, Anderson was accused of trying to snatch a death row affiliate's chain in a Foot Locker at the Lakewood Mall. So when death row's crew spotted him that night, retaliation was instant. Security cameras caught the infamous moment. Tupac himself throwing the first punch, with others from the death row camp stomping Anderson on the casino floor. That fight would go down in history as the spark that lit the powder keg. Hours later, Tupac was ambushed in a drive-by shooting on the Las Vegas Strip. He died 6 days later. Almost immediately, rumors swirled that Orlando Anderson and the Southside Compton Crips were behind the murder. Anderson denied any involvement, telling police he had nothing to do with Tupac's death. Still, the streets whispered otherwise. Police interrogated him, but without evidence, he was never charged. For years, conspiracy theories painted him as either the shooter, the driver, or at least one of the men in the Cadillac that pulled up on Tupac and Suge. His name became cemented in hip-hop folklore as the man who may have killed Tupac Shakur. Despite the allegations, Orlando Anderson's story didn't end in Las Vegas. Back in Compton, the streets still demanded respect. By the late 1990s, he was wrapped up in ongoing gang wars. On May 29, 1998, less than 2 years after Tupac's death, Anderson's life ended violently. He was involved in a shootout outside a Compton car wash. The exchange left him fatally shot, just 23 years old. His death came in true street fashion, quick, bloody, and inevitable. For many, It was the streets serving their own justice. Orlando Anderson didn't live long enough to tell his full story, but his name remains carved into the legend of Tupac's murder and the streets of Compton. This is the tale of Baby Lane, another chapter in the rise and fall of street legends.